Good morning, Dan. Merry Christmas. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Merry Christmas to you guys.
We were just, before we get into some football, we were talking that Jared Goff, as you know, got tricked out golf carts for all his offensive linemen. When you were a player, maybe even in your earlier coaching days, did players ever give you anything cool, or did you ever give anything to any of your teammates that was cool?
I got some coolest thing. I got a four-wheeler one time when I was down in Miami. My guys gave me one of those, which was awesome. I actually got to my house late at night. We were getting ready for the game, so I didn't get home till midnight. It was in our driveway. Had a bow on it. I couldn't believe it. And they had all signed it, and it was a picture of them. We played New England the week before, and all four of them were in the game, and they made a crucial play. Anyways, it was awesome. It was a picture of them. They signed it, and they put it on the four-wheeler.
So you show up at midnight. That's there. You got to take it for a quick spin, don't you?
Absolutely. It was awesome, man. And back where we were at, we had a golf course in the back, so I took it out there. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, midnight donuts, maybe.
Yeah.
Not to go back too much on what happened Sunday. And talking to the fans and myself as well, there's two things I wanted to ask you about. I don't want to get into the officiating. Not kicking the field goal early in the game, and at the end of the game when you had 4th and 1 with the timeout, not running the ball, at least, especially on first down. Can you talk about those decisions?
Yeah, no, I don't regret that. I don't regret that. I'm going to go for that 100 out of 100 times where we were at. I'm always going to wish that I would have had a better call, when it doesn't work out. That's just me, but no, I don't regret making the decision to go for it. And then what was your second one there at the end?
When it was first and goal from the one with like about 25 seconds left, you had a timeout, I kind of thought maybe, and some people thought maybe put Demo in and try to run the ball once, and then if you didn't get it, then use your timeout and then have three throws for the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, that crossed my mind. But chose to put it in Goff's hands, and we threw it to Saint and scored. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
No, and obviously, I mean, a lot's been made of the lack of the rushing attack. What were some of the struggles you had or the team had in being able to rush the ball against the Steelers?
Yeah, we just had a lot of negative runs early. Whether it was we just took turns. One guy here, we don't sustain. We had one where we weren't targeted, weren't all on the same page. There was two calls that I didn't love because, one of them we get run down on the backside. Demo has no shot to get away from that. So I don't love that. That's a scheme deal there. So we all had a hand in it, and the problem is it's not so much that you don't run the ball great, because sometimes that's what happens in early games. It takes a while to get into it. But when you have as many zero gains or negative runs that early, that's really what they were. That's really what they were. The first, call it, Demo rattled off a 17-yarder on play 4, but we really had 0 yards, 2 yards, 0, 1, -3, -2, -1. It just gets hard, and at some point you're going to try to get it in the hands of Saint and J-Mo and Gibbs in the pass game, if you don't feel like you're making hay in the run.
You know better than anyone. This team is, the grit thing has been built basically from the offensive line and even a little bit from the defensive line in. And, the games you've lost, the 7 games you've been outrushed, I think almost 990 to 487. Is there something that, I don't know if the identity is the right word, or where you guys are not controlling the line of scrimmages on both sides of the ball? Is there a reason for that you can put your finger on? And is that accurate?
Yeah, look, I think you can't argue the fact that we're not winning the rushing attack. That's you can see that, especially over the last 2 weeks. It's right there to look at. So that's what we do know is we're not winning. I don't think it's from a lack of toughness. I don't think it's from a lack of effort. I don't feel like we're getting pushed around. I feel like it's more of man, we're taking turns not doing our job, you know. And when you have one guy, like, you can fit everything perfect on defense, and if one guy's not where he's supposed to be, we get gutted. And then look, we missed a couple of tackles too, like the other day, that cost us. I mean, and so some of it, it's like, oh man, the D line, the linebacker. Well, that's not always the case. You know, those 6 guys are fitting it right, and we have one guy that's not, or vice versa. Maybe it is. Maybe we have somebody that's not quite fitting it the way they should. So, you know, we can go round and round on it. I don't feel like it's you know, one of those issues like, oh man, we're getting shoved around. We're just not. We have no margin for error. And man, if we don't do everything perfect, it makes it tough. It's really tough on us right now. So it requires everybody being on point, is disciplined, and is urgent to do their job as they can. Because if one guy gets out of position, it's tough on us.
This is a position you guys haven't been in a couple of years, fighting for your playoff lives, and it's not in your control. You got to win out, and you also have to have help from other teams. What's the message to the team about preparing for this game and preparing to go to Minnesota for a team that beat you, you know, at Ford Field earlier in the season?
Yeah, man, look, there's nothing we can do but go back to work, man. We have to prepare for this opponent on a short week. I mean, we came in, we got our base game plan in yesterday. You know, nothing's going to be live, but you give them the things that you think they're good at and what we think will work against these guys. We got to be able to solve a lot of issues once we get up there in real time during the game. But you just worry about what's in front of you right now, and nobody feels sorry for us. Nobody cares. You know, we gotta prepare to play. These guys got to get rested up. They got to digest this game plan. And then they got to emotionally, physically, mentally prepare in 2 days to go out there to Minnesota in a hostile environment and play some of our best football to win this game.
How tough is it? I don't know if fair is the right word, and I know you would never bellyache about it, but is it kind of, I don't know, unfair that you guys have to play Thanksgiving and Christmas?
No, I mean, that's
on short weeks.
That's the world we're in now. I mean, that's what we're charged with. I mean, look, last year we were coming off the last game of the year to get ready to play Minnesota. You know, we traveled to San Francisco on a Monday night, you know, and that was that was tough too. So that's all stuff that is it's part of it, and that's where they put us on the schedule, and it's our job to adapt and be prepared.
I know that obviously you guys have injuries, Minnesota has injuries, so it's not the same team that's matching up that you guys matched up earlier in the year, but what needs to happen differently this time against Minnesota to come away with a win?
Well, we can't turn the ball over, you know, that we can't turn the ball over. And, you know, we did a number of things in the first go-around. I mean, we did everything wrong at the most critical times you could do. Really, defensively, we played some pretty good football, but then we made a couple of critical errors at the worst time. And then, you know, we had field goal blocked. We turned the ball over coming out. We gave up multiple sacks, quarterback hits. I mean, so, man, we got to play good old boring football, man, just schematically on point. You know, it may not be flashy, but we just got to do what we got to do here to not make mistakes and take this to the end of the game, find a way to win it.
How did some of your reserves who had to play because of injuries and start for, I think, the first time, Egakwan at center, and even Ferkser, who had a pretty good game?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. I mean, I thought Kingsley it was really encouraging to see what he was able to do. You know, he was ready to go. He went in there, he competed, was really on point all day, you know, with the mic points and all that and getting everybody lined up. And, man, he finished. You talk about, I mean, he played hard. He's a finisher. And so I was encouraged by him. And Ferk, once again, man, he's a crafty veteran guy. You know, just when you call his number, that's what he does. He makes plays. So I'm glad he's here. those guys did a good job. You know, Maddox, that was his second start, but he just stepped in, man. He's a football player. He did a great job for us, too.
Well, besides a win, is there anything you hope Santa Claus brings you?
No. I'm just the win that'll be enough.
All right. Dan, thanks a lot. Merry Christmas to you and the family and the team, and talk to you next week.
All right. You guys too. Talk to you later.
It's Lions coach Dan Campbell here on 97.1.